6:50 top stories in our Smart Start. Breaking developments. One man is dead. Another is hospitalized after they were hit by cars near Highmark Stadium in separate incidents.
What we know so far is that a 65-year-old man from Rochester, he was hit and killed just after kickoff. That was around 8:20, dying at the hospital. And police do say that the vehicle and driver had originally left the scene, now since located. Another victim, 36-year-old from Buffalo, he was hit around the stadium about 10 o'clock. His injuries considered serious. Police say that vehicle had the right-of-way and stayed on the scene.
Also breaking overnight, an officer here in the city hospitalized after a crash involving an RPD cruiser. Police say that happened near Dewey and Ravine Avenues just before 1 a.m. The officer has a minor cut. Police say the driver in the other car failed to yield and pulled out in front of the officer. That caused the impact. That driver, a man in his 30s, is charged with DWI.
Also breaking, RPD investigating the death of a baby. That call came in last night at a home on Cummings Street. Police say they can't yet speculate on the cause of that infant's death at this point, as it's unknown. But they do say that this process will be extensive and require some patience. Of course, we'll keep you updated on all of these top stories and any further developments available on RochesterFirst.com.
Let's turn to your forecast early on this Tuesday with James and a look at the satellite and radar. Some rain overnight, just a little bit more this morning.
Yeah, that's right. Fading as the last 3 hours. You can see that with this 3-hour loop. We've got wet roads. That's going to be a factor for your morning commute, but otherwise we're in pretty good shape. I do think there could still be some showers kind of hiding underneath radar. Know that as you head out, but not really umbrella-worthy rain. Temperature-wise, much warmer than yesterday. We're sitting at 43 degrees. There's those clouds that will probably linger to about noontime, then fade as we get into the afternoon. Nice stretch next couple of days. We'll take a look at the 8-day in just a bit. Brennan, how are the roads looking this morning?
Pretty good on the expressways, James. 390, 490, 590. In terms of those, no accidents reported if you're about to hop on one of the busier roads. Still watching that issue in Macedon. Crash at Penfield Road at Watson-Hurlbut Road. We will check the morning drive again when we see you during CBS Mornings at 7:25.
Man accused of beating a 61-year-old man to death. He will appear in court. Police tell us that 39-year-old suspect, Quintel Crockton, began beating Teron Felder outside of a store before moving inside. This was all back in August. Police say they found Felder inside dead and the suspect gone. This all happened on J Street. Crockton arrested in Rochester yesterday. He's charged with murder and will be arraigned this morning at 9:30.
Also happening today in a few hours, local union employees for GM are going to vote on the tentative contract agreement reached between the automaker and the union. That deal, bringing millions of dollars to the plant here, would also have a pay bump for employees. Now, this still has to be ratified with the vote, so it has to be approved by members of the union.
News 8 taking an inside look at LiCycle's finances as they've now unveiled their third quarter numbers. It comes just 3 weeks after they had to pause construction on the Rochester hub, citing rising construction costs. Although we don't know what the original cost of the project should have been, they now say as of the Monday revised costs are upwards of $1 billion. LiCycle was originally valued as a company at $220 million, on pace to lose $250 million this year and on pace to make $15 million in sales. Now that seems unlikely they'll get a $375 million federal funding package, as Ethan Wade with Brighton Securities explains.
You're a government, it's hard to justify giving a $375 million loan to a business that is doing $15 million or is on track to do $15 million in sales, incurring a loss $205 million through 3 quarters of the year. The numbers just don't add up.
The company also says they have brought in an outside firm to evaluate financing and strategic alternatives. Wade adds that the statement is indicative they're in a lot of trouble. And the fate of New York's Regent's exam up in the air with new proposals issued. The Blue Ribbon Commission conducted research and received feedback, trying to create 13 recommendations. The most significant of these, some changes including replacing the 3 diplomas with just 1, adding credits such as cultural competence and civic responsibility, and reviewing the state learning standards. We have the full Blue Ribbon Commission packet of recommendations for you to check out on RochesterFirst.com.
Just a reminder, the 17th annual Food for Families fundraiser is happening now. And News 8, a very proud supporter of this event, offering food for neighbors in need this holiday season. Please stop by any Tops and get a little brown bag of hope. Those are for $5, $10, $20, whatever you can give. You can also drop off food donations. We've got locations for that on our website. This fundraiser will keep going up until Christmas Eve.
All right, love to see that.
Yes.
Make sure everybody has a nice holiday season, right?
Just give back. Go ahead and start doing it now. Thanksgiving next week, and then we got 5 weeks to go till Christmas.
Yeah, I was in Tops last year doing this event.
Yeah.
Great to see that. And a shout out to Tops for those upgrades that they've been doing.
Oh,
yeah.
stores. Millions of dollars opening them up. Yeah.
Every time I walk in, they're like, this is fancy. Looking so nice in there. So maybe we're doing some grocery shopping this afternoon. Temperatures hanging in the 40s, so below average for that high temperature. But clear skies, though, should make for a pretty calm night. And then we get rewarded. Your Wednesday looks really nice. Oof, upper 50s beautiful. There. Clouds to sun, but Thursday, that's the gem. Circling that day as we're going to try to get outside and enjoy it. Friday, some afternoon rain showers. Still holding on to the warmth there before we get cooler as we get into next week.
All right. Thank you, James. And thank you for sharing your morning with us here on News 8 at Sunrise.
Our next update coming your way in half an hour.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on RochesterFirst.com, Facebook, Twitter, and on our app for news and weather.